Welcome back to Rebored Podcast. Today we're doing a review on the new movie Eternals.
Oh my gosh. Is it even a Marvel movie, John?
No.
Oh my god. It's completely different.
It's Jack's favorite director's movie.
Oh no, I hate the director. But I really enjoy this movie a lot.
Whoa.
Best
looking Marvel movie.
Best looking Marvel movie. Here's the thing. But it's fresh, right? Fresh and piping hot. Remember when we said Venom was like a great movie?
Well, we also did this with every single Marvel show and as they sit.
But this one feels different.
We'll have to let this one sit.
We'll let it sit. Maybe we'll do like an updated 2021 thing at the end of the year. We probably will. But as of right now, this is my personal favorite project of the year for Marvel. And I think that the reviews are quite honestly astonishing in terms of how low they are.
Oh.
It's probably at like a 56
because
right now.
because I feel like Rotten Tomatoes likes a certain formula.
Yeah, which is strange to me.
Did you not see Paddington 2 where that fucking ranked it?
Well, it's like, you know how it's a collection of different reviews from all across the internet.
You're wearing a chain.
Supposedly, yeah, I got it for free. Oh yeah, no.
And
So
updated rankings.
it was a collection. It's a collection, but it's just like strange to me that I guess that means that the general internet and critics like the Marvel formula a lot.
Yeah, and I'm kind of getting sick of the Marvel formula.
I am getting sick of it too, and that's why I like this over Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi, even though it has a lot of unique elements, it did feel formulaic by the end, like it had to hit a couple beats.
Okay,
but this one,
they
went wild. They killed we won't go to spoilers right away, but they kill some Eternals, and then the end, like paired with what's going on with the multiverse, is completely bonkers. What it could mean. So it's like,
bro,
it just took risks.
Just the Celestials though, fucking crazy.
Oh my gosh, the CGI was on point. Mm-hmm. And the telling of history for how the MCU was formed, not only did it look good, but it was awesome. And revisiting real history, seeing the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. And
I think in those past scenes they should have done one with Atlantis, or at least even a mention of it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the only thing I'll say is this was already a packed movie, and Black Panther 2 has me nervous for what it could be. So I'm okay with that being half Atlantis stuff, because it kind of needs something, while this one could.
Sure, he's not a strong lead.
Sure, he shouldn't be Black Panther.
Anyway,
but another thing that I really enjoyed. Well, first I was scared. So you know how we open with the past, and then we cut to the future or present time.
I'm gonna be honest. I felt like that first fight scene we saw was kind of choppy. I thought so.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I was nervous that they were gonna not do that many flashbacks. But I think that I could see that as a criticism, maybe if you're not interested in that part of the movie. But I guess that goes for anything.
I knew they were gonna do a lot of flashbacks.
But I'm personally happy that they did a bunch of flashbacks, and I think it worked. Because another criticism I'm hearing is that you don't know the characters. Hard disagree on my end. There's it's 9? I wasn't counting. 9 characters or something, but I'm invested in all of them.
Yeah.
Even if it's a hatred. Sprite, I'm looking at you. But Kingo, very fun. Gilgamesh, very fun.
Was one of our favorites until.
Okay, make sure you put a spoiler warning somewhere before this.
Well, I'm gonna put one at the beginning of the video.
Yeah. So Kingo, rest in peace. And then Icarus, I was he's really cold throughout the movie, in a way that it's hard to connect. It's easy to hate him, but by the end, it really worked, because then when he actually has emotion into regret.
Well, you see why you understand why he's so. I feel like you understand why he's so cold, because he's he wanted to distance himself from all these people for so long, because
he knew it was coming.
Yeah, he didn't want to lose.
Yeah.
He didn't want to like feel anything towards them.
Like the twist and like it took so many risks. It was so good in that way because it's like, Icarus is the main Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good guy in the comics. It's, as far as I know, never been different. But like this movie, straight up makes him a bad guy. Granted, it's like one you can be like, okay, valid, but nonetheless, he's a bad guy. And then they just kill him, as far as we know. So it's like, wow. And like the fact that they cast like Richard Madden to do it, and then this is it.
Do you know what I also found pretty crazy about these movies though? Is how they make like it made me like halfway through the movie I was like, wow, this really made honestly kind of like the whole Thanos thing and like all these Earths irrelevant. Like seem like so insignificant.
Yeah, but that what I think is, I don't know, maybe when they really get into the multiverse it won't be this way, but like at the end of the day this is just one Earth, right? So like why should we care? But I did. I mean, I think it comes down to just caring about the characters, and then you care about like the planet. But
much mean like that, like we have these like big ass celestials here, like, and it's just one Earth. Like it makes all these fights seem just so irrelevant and insignificant that we've seen this entire time.
But that's why. But I mean, I think that most of these movies are strong enough to be like, that doesn't matter, which is a strength. Like rewatching Iron Man when I did, with the context of all of this, didn't make it any worse of a movie.
Well, I don't think it makes it any worse of a movie.
It's just like interesting like, perspective.
I think. Well, no, I think this is just like showing a big step up in Marvel.
Yeah, which is cool.
What I mean,
and what they need, I think, definitely.
It's like nothing compares to what they're doing now than they did in the past.
But the more I think about it, the more sad I am. The reviews are bad. Because like, does that mean that they're never gonna try anything like this again?
No, they will try something like that. You saw how hyped Kevin Feige was that they did an actual movie for once.
I know, but if it makes money, we're good at the very least. Yeah. But I hope that the Celestial plot line isn't like subtly dropped or less important than it would have been because the movie was less well received. Which is a thing I'm nervous about. Now, will it come to pass? Who knows? But
bro, how
nonetheless,
like this feels like it does not fit with like what they're doing with the other multiverse stuff.
Yeah,
is a weird part
because it's like huge, but just on one Earth. The multiverse is like the multiverse, but
well, like not even just it's like he created all these universes. So like I don't know, is he like who's the creator? Big person behind the multiverse.
Did Kang create it? I forgot.
King was like
King
the person ruling it, but who? But was he actually not even like the actual ruler? Was there a celestial that he didn't even know about?
I think the easy way to go is, like the one above all, or what is it, the Grand Tribunal, something like that. They got with 3 heads.
It could be something where it's like, how in the comics they have the thing where it's like all the stories were written beforehand. That's King.
Yeah.
All Thor stories have been written by people and they're meant to happen.
Yeah.
Like that could be Kang and he doesn't actually rule anything. He thinks he does.
Yeah.
And there's like the Celestials who.
But there's also the confusing element that's like, so Kang always ruled this, but then now that he doesn't, does that mean he never ruled it because time is like all at once? But I guess that if we're watching it in chronological order, it's like a time capsule. So now in the timeline, he didn't rule it like the Iron Man movie. But when we watched the Iron Man movie, he was ruling it.
I just don't know how they're going to do something bigger than the Celestials.
I know,
they make Thanos seem insignificant.
Yeah, they are really epic. As far as I could tell, it's like Thanos' snap had 0 effect on them.
Oh yeah, the Celestials did not care. It just like made their plan go a little bit slower by 4 years, but by 5 years, but that's insignificant to them out of how long they've been there.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of wild, but I'm excited, and I hope that they commit.
And the only reason it delayed it was because it got rid of half the population on Earth.
Yeah,
it wasn't because like Thanos directly did something where they're like, we'll wait for that one.
Yeah,
they just lessened the population.
Like, oh shit! All right, get it back up. But yeah, I mean, I'm just flabbergasted at the reviews. Like, I thought it was well paced. It really didn't feel like the second longest Marvel movie. It was like I thought that the action was overall great, and the powers were really creative, even though they were all supposed to come from the same thing. It's like they're all distinct. It wasn't just like
they all have distinct roles.
Yeah, so it was like noticeable, and you could tell like when someone was coming just by like whatever power blast hit them or something. The way that like the speed was shown was awesome, I think, because it's different. Because like with the Flash, you know, that was really awesome, but it's like, why go for that when you did it with Quicksilver, the Flash? And I get the Flash TV show and this and that. So that was cool, and yeah. And then like Kingo was great. I'm surprised that they didn't kill off his
Oh, I'm so happy they
associate.
didn't.
I know, he was really
His
funny.
assistant, yeah.
And yeah, there's like less comedy, but I think that this may be one of the most like it hits.
I honestly think that's what Marvel needs.
Yeah,
is
but
less
I think
comedy.
I think every comedy bit hits. I really didn't think I can't think of one that like was supposed to be a joke that wasn't at least a little bit funny. While like some other movies that they do, it's like they fire so many off that it's
just like, why?
yeah. Some
And
of them,
also, it's like some of them are out of character, I feel like, in those movies.
yeah. Well,
These
this-
ones were all like in character.
in character. It's like most of these people don't make one joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a few, like one or two,
Yeah, and then when they do, it was really fun.
or the Wes Anderson type thing where it's like they don't know they're funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's not supposed to, like they're not supposed to be funny
It
themselves.
doesn't. Okay, what it feels like, it doesn't feel like this is directed for an audience to think it's funny. It feels like
Yeah.
it's just these characters talking. Whereas
Exactly.
other Marvel movies, it feels like it's directed towards the audience to laugh.
And Kevin Feige was definitely hyping it up, but I think that what he said was true. Like, this was such a unique vision, and it really feels like they let her do what she wanted. Because in a lot of ways, it, like, is very much its own thing and kind of clashing with what seemingly everything else was doing with the multiverse and Kang. So it's like, yeah, you can do it. And
I agree
it's,
with
like,
that. But
epic.
I think Kevin Feige was just a little bit too excited for me. Like,
I don't know. I think he was just hyped that he's like, I fucking did it, man. I did
he's like,
something.
I did it.
I did something different. I got Chloe that one. He's probably she, I guess, came to him. But yeah,
It's like
this
now it feels like there's 3 different stories going on.
yeah.
We've talked about how there's 2 with like the
Ground.
ground. Then there's the multiverse. Now
Now
there's
there's
this.
And yeah, it's just so weird. I'm like insanely curious where it's gonna go. Post credit scenes. Both of them
Harry
were
Styles.
really exciting. Harry Styles was surprisingly like not really corny. It was actually kind of hype.
I was really excited. I was actually excited for him to be in this.
So I'm
like-
excited to see him part of the MCU. Honestly.
I knew he would be, but I was excited. I was excited for him to be in it because of Dunkirk.
Yeah. See, we
Like, I
agree.
kinda
Me and
knew
John
that.
talked about like we like Harry Styles.
We just don't like the people who like
We
Harry
don't like
Styles.
people who like Harry Styles. So, and his little leprechaun assistant, Pip, goat.
Yeah.
I love that. And then the second one, I was always rooting for Dane Whitman, I think is his name. Like in the love triangle.
Yeah, same.
But now he's Black Knight. Who's the voice at the end? We don't have the
It's
answers.
the one
for.
above all.
One above all. It's just Alfred. They made too many references to DC.
Who could it? We have to read some Black Knight comics and figure it out.
Yeah, we do. It's probably just like Grandpa or something. It's like it's your time.
Well, who's like a serial killer?
It's a Zodiac killer.
Well, like, because you know how the blade works, right?
Yeah, you have to like
Yeah.
kill.
Well, yeah, that, and it also just like slowly like, corrupts you and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
And then I guess we could talk about, to wrap this up, we could talk about the characters. So, Icarus, we kind of covered him. I'm blanking on the name. Cersei.
Cersei, yeah.
Cersei was very good. I liked her a lot. I think she may have been my favorite character, or definitely like
I like how
top
she went
three.
from the back to like being the front. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Whoever Salma Hayek played, I don't even know her name. She wasn't like too important as a character. She was more of a plot device, but nonetheless,
Very interesting.
cool. And then Gilgamesh, once again, didn't have a huge role, but every time that he was on screen, I
It was
loved it.
very great. Yeah.
Yeah, he was either funny or like just a nice presence. Uh,
Surprised they didn't kill off Angelina Jolie. Thought she might be too
Yeah,
expensive. For
Same.
them.
Thena, I thought she was. I was kind of surprised by what they did with her, honestly.
How so?
She just like wasn't too relevant, and then when she was always just like, kind of like a weight on their foot, you know.
Yeah.
And she didn't really get a redemption.
I honestly feel like in the trailers though, they made it seem like she was gonna be a bigger deal.
Same. Well, they're obviously selling the face.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, like that's the type of thing that I really liked about this movie. Like it held restraint. They had Angelina Jolie, one of the biggest movie stars, and she wasn't even close to the biggest character.
Yeah, yeah.
What is it? I was about to say Durag. Durag? The beetle.
Oh yeah, Durig or something.
Yeah,
Durig.
I really liked him.
Yeah, so
I was really curious for what his role was looking at the trailer.
I thought he would have been the one who dies.
Yeah, but he turned out to just be a standout.
I would have liked to see more of his character arc though, like him not wanting to control people anymore. Like I feel like that would have been cool because he like still in the end it's not like he chooses not to. He just like
there's probably room to grow.
Yeah, like I feel like it's like he doesn't necessarily choose not to control them anymore. He just needs to stop controlling them for that certain time.
Yeah. So I think there's probably more to explore with that. But yeah, like he added just a really good flavor to all of that. Fastos, that's Brian Tyler Henry's character. I liked him a lot. He was more comedic relief.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was cool, and he didn't come in till later. I wasn't obviously didn't have a time or anything, but like halfway.
Yeah, and I think they definitely when they mentioned the rings, those were definitely for the 10 rings.
Yeah, I feel like that, but
I feel like because the 10 rings were calling out to something bigger that even
maybe it is the celestial.
like even Wong doesn't know, and I feel like that could be celestial, like meaning time to come to this earth.
I really thought it was Fing Fang Foom though, and that's kind of what the director teased after the.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. It's just like
seems more relevant.
Yeah, because especially because they showed like pretty much we weren't able to count, but they showed like a bunch of rings.
Yeah,
and then they make their own rings.
I don't know, but then he makes them there and then. So, but the 10 rings are eternal. So, but it's like he has to figure out how to make them. He didn't already make them. It's kind of I kind
of felt like it. What I thought was like that they were already made before, but they have to make their own because I felt like it could have been something that was already on Earth, but they had to make their own version of it then.
I don't think so. Because then they needed a special, like, power source for it.
Like, they needed her.
Yeah, the connection. But, like, the 10 rings before didn't have that. And with the dragons and stuff, I assume that it's just related to Fing Fang Foom. Which I'd prefer, maybe, because Fing Fang Foom is cool. So, yeah.
Well, then it just made kind of sense to me because, like, the Mandarin was able to live forever when he had them on. So,
maybe.
I don't know.
But I did think that the gay thing wasn't forced.
No, it wasn't.
So that's pretty cool. Like, it wasn't like the Endgame thing where it's like...
the women felt way too forced.
Or well, that especially, but the boyfriend guy who Joe Russo plays. Yeah, like in the therapy scene.
What?
And he just makes like that half-assed comment about having a boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I completely forgot about that.
And stuff like that. Like, this was like natural but not forced.
Yeah.
And then Kingo. Maybe the standout. I wasn't expecting to love him.
I knew I would. I love, how do you pronounce his name? Camille Nanjiani.
Yeah, that's right. So, he was funny, which I don't know why I'm surprised. He was a comedic. He's kind of fucking... What? Comedian. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of the word.
Comic.
It's a comic. So yeah, he was funny, and I should have seen that coming. Maybe because he got jacked, I was like, he can't be funny and strong.
Joe Rogan.
Don't bring up his name. We do a podcast.
My bad. Our podcast is better than his.
Yes, exactly.
Why does it say Joe on that paper?
It's a song.
It's not about Joe Rogan?
It's not about Joe Rogan.
My bad.
It's a Jamaican song.
Well, overall, I think as of right now, maybe I have to rewatch them, but maybe my top 5 even.
Yeah. I wasn't willing to say it. I wasn't willing to go there, but I may. That was a really good movie.
It was. Looked amazing. Looked really cool. Celestial's badass.
Yeah. I almost guarantee top 10. Mm-hmm. And maybe even top 5.
I'm really excited for them to do another movie with Eternals. I just want to know how fast.
Yeah, same.
It's like we need to see something with that.
Yeah, and keep let her do her thing, and it pisses me off that it got bad reviews because it's so scary that this was so good and different, and that it didn't get it's not positive, which is not good for us.
It's probably because everyone felt the same way you felt about Nomadland, and they were like, "No, we're not going to keep getting this shit." Yeah,
that they don't have the critic strength that I do to be able to like separate the art from the artist.
But no, it's like Marvel has been able to get Spider-Man out every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But
Shang-Chi seemingly will come out in a couple
Yeah,
of
that's
years.
because it's Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, that's Sony too.
But like I really want this to come out fast.
Yeah.
Like I'm nervous because with how
And
Marvel,
will it be
like,
Eternals
slates-
2 or something else?
Yeah, like with how Marvel slates things, I'm kind of nervous. I don't feel like it'd be an Eternals 2.
Because they have fucking, what did they say, like 20, 30 something projects in the works?
Yeah, I'm just nervous because it's like how fast can they get this out?
Yeah. I hope fast, but it's probably not fast tracked now.
Yeah.
Just see the movie, guys. Just see the movie. The money speaks louder than the reviews, so.
I have no Marvel. Up until like recently, Marvel has been one coherent story until now.
So, well, I think that I heard Straw Goofy made a good theory for once, which was that they're kind of just like throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. And I either want that or use the multiverse, or not even, just like have more standalone creative stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been its strong suit, it being one cohesive story. But I think that like it happened, it was over 10 years, you know, that it was a long time that was a thing. Film has only been like around for 100 years. So a tenth of that was dominated by the cinematic universe thing. And so it's like, you can have that, but I think this is the case where you can have your cake and eat it too, because like you can do that with some stories, but then have stuff, and then if it works and you have a creative and, you know, artistically strong way to tie it back in, then you can do it. But like,
we'll see what Spider-Man does, but like honestly, this kind of has me more excited for the Eternals movies than the multiverse.
a
Like
little
what they're
bit.
doing with this.
Other than the fact, I don't know. I think that them going bigger, it's good. Now that doesn't necessarily always mean good. Projects like the Batman show that if you ground stuff, it's obviously you can be as good. But
I feel like because this is so like this movie felt very grand is a good word for it compared to like what I felt like they kind of did with Loki for the multiverse.
yeah, but Loki's
like,
a TV show, so
yeah, it's like they
I mean,
couldn't-
I'm still my
I'm
excitement
excited for it,
still
but-
goes No Way Home, and then Multiverse of Madness right here. Of course, there's other things to do with that, like Sam Raimi.
I just mean I
Doctor
think I'm more
Strange.
excited to figure like what's going on with this
Yeah,
than what's
that's
going on with the multiverse because I feel like we've seen multiverse in so many things already that like this is more unique.
Yeah, that's true. This is like the fact that this is like Jack Kirby by himself. He wrote it and drew it. Everything. He did everything for this. It's like such a unique and like one man's vision. And in the same way that Chloe Zhao kind of like came with her own vision, seemingly didn't get it muddled too much. It's like very stagnant on its own.
They clearly didn't get it muddled very much because it was very gray at some points.
What do you mean? It was very colorful.
No, at some points when we were in
No, it was
South Dakota.
brown. No, earthy.
Okay, my bad. I was just trying to make a comparison to No Man Land. No.
But it wasn't. Wait, but earthy is No Man Land.
Yeah,
What I
when we were in
mean.
South Dakota, she went No Man Land. So she clearly got part of her, you know.
Yeah.
She had to make it a little gray in some spots.
She wanted to make No Man Land 2 with Marvel money, and they were like,
Yeah,
you have to at least make Eternals. All right. Star rating?
As of right now, at least a 4.5.
That's what I was thinking. May drop to 4, but we'll
May
talk
even
to
go up to a 5. You never
maybe
know.
we'll talk to you at the year-end review about this movie, which I just decided we're doing as of this video. John, do the fucking.
All right, make sure you check us out on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Metaverse, all of our podcasts. We have our podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts: Apple Music, Spotify.
Name one thing that this can do. Whoop.
All Reward Podcast as well, so make sure you go listen to us there. We talk about the news and anything we've been watching. Also, make sure you stay on YouTube for exclusive movie reviews like this one and exclusive content every week. Subscribe and goodbye.
Bye-bye.